Here is your General Hospital sneak peek video for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. Willow has been worried that there weren't any children living under her roof, but at least Scout appears decked out in a flower girl dress to remind her that she is there, and even lives under Willow's roof. Is Willow relieved that she at least has one child to take care of when she remembers this child lives there? Scout has a big question for Willow before they both take a trip down the aisle. Should she call her mom? What will Willow tell this child whose mom died the night she decided to cheat on her husband with Scout's dad? Will she feel funny having someone besides Wiley and Amelia call her mom? Or will she embrace it and now become obsessed with Scout? Meanwhile, Alexis has a talk with Drew about Scout. She knows this marriage is a mistake, but will keep her cool for her granddaughter's sake. Nina is determined to prevent this disastrous wedding from taking place. She tearfully tells Ava that the situation is much worse than she thought. Will Ava suggest maybe telling Willow the truth about Nina's affair with Drew? Will Willow even care? While Nina wonders if she should confess her secret, Curtis may be ready to do it for her. After her conversation with Willow, Portia now knows this girl is too far gone, and using Willow to stop Drew won't work. Curtis has hinted that he has an ace up his sleeve, so Portia wants him to produce it already. Curtis has also hinted that he would betray a friend if he had to. It looks like that friend will be Nina. Trina and Kai come face to face for the first time since he told her that he ratted out her parents to Drew. That was the ultimate betrayal for Trina, and she is not sure she can forgive Kai. Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. Over the last week, Liesl and Portia have both lectured her about how disturbed her daughter is. Hearing that Willow didn't even flinch when Portia told her that Drew was blackmailing her before sanctioning Drew's idea to falsify Michael's medical records sent chills up Nina's spine. Nina tells Ava that Willow's mental state is so much worse than she imagined, but she is determined to do something about it. Nina is about to take action, but will that action involve telling Willow about her affair with Drew? Will Willow even care at this point? In Willow's mind, Drew can do no wrong. He could shoot someone on Charles Street and he wouldn't lose her support. Just the other day, Willow told Nina and Liesl that it's not fair that Michael had 3 children under his roof and she had none. She clearly forgot about Scout, who lives under her roof and whose dad she plans to marry. Willow and Scout have a heart-to-heart talk in which Scout asks Willow if she should call her mom now. Considering that a married Willow had sex with Scout's dad on her playroom floor the night Scout's mother died, Willow might want to nix that idea for decorum's sake. Meanwhile, Alexis has a long talk with Drew about Scout, so he can reassure her that he is not trying to replace Sam. The last time Liesl was in Port Charles, she blamed Elizabeth for Britt's death, and even broke things off with Scott for supporting Liz. She was sure that Esme had killed Britt and was angry at Elizabeth for knowing where Esme was and not turning her in. Now that Liesl knows the truth about Heather and Esme, will she make amends with Liz when the two women reunite? Liesl's friendship with Franco and romance with Franco's dad, Scott, gave her a tepid friendship with Elizabeth. It might be time to renew things between the doctor and the nurse. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Drew Kane may have just scored himself some wedding leverage. Will Drew threaten to expose Willow Tate as Daisy Gilmore's stalker if his bride backs out? After Nina Reeves suspected Drew might have been the one behind the strange baby-related incidents, Drew took a moment to consider who might have done it instead. Based on the look on Drew's face and his questions about the 4th of July, he clearly thinks Willow must be to blame for stalking Daisy. Sasha was spooked enough to pack up the baby and leave town, so Drew knows this is a huge deal. Willow was sneaking in the Quartermain mansion and manipulating things using an innocent infant, so this is a secret she'd definitely like to keep buried. The timing of Drew's discovery is interesting since he's on the verge of tying the knot with Willow. Is there a reason why GH writers put the Daisy stalker secret in Drew's hands right before the marriage ceremony? Of course. Drew has a secret of his own that seems poised to be revealed first. Willow should find out that while she was falling hard for Drew, he was sizzling with Nina behind closed doors. Curtis Ashford may be the one to blow the lid off that secret for Willow, but walking away from her groom may not be so simple. Willow might fly into a rage and plan to walk out on Drew, but that's when he could hit her with some major blackmail. It's easy to imagine Drew pulling Willow away for a private moment as he tries to get the nuptials back on track. Drew might hint that they've both done questionable things and suggest Michael Corinthos wouldn't like hearing Willow was the one who drove Sasha and Daisy out of Port Charles. Perhaps Drew could push Willow to get past what happened with Nina and marry him, or else he'll make sure the truth comes out about her Daisy stalker status. Drew might convince Willow that everyone will believe him and that she'll never see her kids again. Would that be enough to convince Willow to move forward with the wedding? Regardless, Drew threatens people daily, so he might as well add his bride to the list and blackmail her on her big day. General Hospital spoilers say Willow may have to make some updates to her plans along the way, so stay tuned for all the stunning news and desperate moves to come. General Hospital spoilers reveal that there are at least 4 reasons why Jason Morgan and Britt Westbourne belong together. This is arguably a great GH couple to root for, so let's talk about why Britt and Jason deserve a chance to create some magic as a romantic duo. For starters, Jason has gone far too long without a proper love interest by his side. Since Jason is such a popular character, he needs a romance that fans can tune in for. Unfortunately, Sam McCall is deceased, Carly Spencer is in the friend zone, Sasha Gilmore Corbin left town, and the show just seems uninterested in revisiting Jason's pairing with Elizabeth Baldwin. The timing is perfect for Britt to re-enter the picture and bring some love back into Jason's life. Now that Kelly Thiebaud's confirmed to TV Insider that she's indeed playing Britt, all signs point to Jason falling for her all over again. Britt is also a messy, flawed individual, which makes her an intriguing character. Jason is a complicated guy, considering he's a mob hitman with a heart of gold, so he needs someone just as complicated to love. Britt fits the bill and can bring some entertainment to this love story. Jason can be rather stoic and doesn't have a ton of personality, so pairing him with someone sassy and surprising, like Britt, will make things interesting. Of course, Jason also sees a different side of Britt and isn't afraid to defend her. It could lead to a classic us-against-the-world type of romance for Jason and Britt as this storyline moves along. In Thiebaud's Britt confirmation interview, she indicated that she's hoping for Britt and Jason's next chapter too. As far as story goes, obviously, I want Britt and Jason to get back together, Thiebaud said. I'm very much excited to pick up where we left off. General Hospital spoilers report. Willow Corinthos stands at a crossroads as Drew Quartermain's darker side is about to come to light. The truth about Drew's lies, telling Wiley Corinthos that Michael Corinthos didn't want him after Daisy Corinthos Gilmore's birth, bribing a nurse in Germany to make Willow think Michael rejected her, and now faking drug tests to paint Michael as an addict, is bound to surface. Will Willow crumble when reality hits, clinging to Drew in denial, or find the guts to expose him and protect Michael? Or will she take Drew's twisted offer to rig the tests further, ensuring Michael loses his kids so she can reclaim them? Willow's heart is tied to Drew, but his manipulations are piling up, and the fans are thrilled that the truth can't stay buried much longer. Drew has been ruthless, toying with a child's emotions about his father's love, manipulating Michael and Willow into thinking they were enemies when they could have worked things out for their kids, and now forcing Portia to orchestrate doctored drug tests to make Michael look unfit in court. Will she face the painful reality of Drew's betrayal, or will her love blind her to his deceit? Fans are hoping she sees through him before it's too late. Drew has upped the ante by promising Willow she would have her kids back sooner than she thinks, and by using his leverage against Portia to try to make it happen. But Portia could be the wild card he isn't expecting to flip on him. She just might have the courage to come clean if it means getting out from under his thumb and retaining any integrity. Still, if she doesn't, then it may come down to whether Willow wants to take part in Drew's evil plan. Is she that desperate? Picture Willow, torn and shaken, as Drew dangles a chilling deal. Support him in rigging Michael's drug tests to ensure he loses custody, giving Willow her kids back. The offer is a punch to the gut, and also everything she wanted. Will Willow take Drew's deal to secure her kids, or will her conscience push her to confront his betrayal head-on? Willow's choice could have profound and lasting effects, as Michael will feel blindsided and full of conviction to go after Drew, and possibly the hospital, to figure out how his test results were doctored. Might Willow crumble under the weight of Drew's lies? Will she lie to herself just to keep her fantasy of their life together intact? Or can she muster the courage to expose her fiancé and save her ex-husband? The fake drug tests could strip Michael of his kids, but if Willow joins Drew's scheme, she risks losing her soul. Fans are rooting for her to stand up, and potentially for her and Michael to mend their broken marriage post-divorce. Can Willow face the music, or will she fall deeper into Drew's trap? What do you think? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and keep checking back for more GH news and spoilers just ahead. General Hospital spoilers update for Thursday, July 24th reveals that Nina Reeves will make a bold declaration, while Sam McCall must be remembered for her role in Scout Kane's life. Trina Robinson will also dish out a double rejection, so here's what GH viewers will see next. For starters, Elizabeth Baldwin will cross paths with Liesl Obrecht ahead of Willow Tate and Drew Kane's wedding. Although there was some tension between Liz and Obrecht after Britt Westbourne's demise, Liesl seems to have a more positive outlook these days. Could that be because Liesl secretly knows Britt is alive? Time will tell, but Jason Morgan will continue to dig for Britt answers in the coming episodes. In the meantime, Trina will refuse to take Kai Taylor back. Despite Kai's attempt to repair their damaged romance, Trina will reject him all over again since he put his loyalty to Drew above her family. Speaking of Drew, he'll meet with Alexis Davis and agree to grant her a favor. During this pre-wedding talk, Alexis may push for stability for Scout Quartermaine, and a promise that Drew will be sensitive to the fact that Scout lost her mom not too long ago. Scout will have Sam on her mind during a discussion with Willow as well. Willow will be taken aback when Scout asks if she should call her mom, but Willow may think that label belongs to Sam alone. It'd be disrespectful if Willow tried to become Sam's replacement. Willow plans to become Scout's stepmother, so she may explain that it can be its own thing and special in its own way. Of course, Willow and Drew's marriage may not even happen, since a major secret's about to blow. Once Portia Robinson pushes Curtis Ashford to play his final card, he'll be ready to use Drew's past passion with Nina against him. Meanwhile, Nina will cry to Ava Jerome about just how bad things have gotten. Willow's undergone a downright sinister transformation thanks to Drew, so Nina will feel like something has to change. Nina will make a bold declaration about putting a stop to Drew's control of Willow, and may plan to confess those past passionate encounters herself. Ava may try to talk Nina out of ruining her relationship with Willow, but it may not matter if Curtis is the one to spill the scandalous news. Next, Carly Spencer will hope that since Jen Sidwell complied and Marco Rios was released, the danger has subsided. When Carly seeks reassurance about that from Sonny Corinthos, he may promise that he'll do whatever it takes to keep protecting the people they love. General Hospital spoilers say the situation could actually get worse now that the imminent threat to Marco's safety is over. General Hospital spoilers suggest Maxie Jones might be off canvas right now as Kirsten Storms is moving to Tennessee. However, in the interim, the actress is also carving out some time to be human and enjoying moments with some close friends and old soapy colleagues. More on this below. Storms recently reposted a cute photo of her, Michelle Stafford, as well as ex-Lulu Spencer, Emmy Rylan, on her Instagram story. Fans of Storms know that Rylan and Kirsten have remained besties, despite Alexa Haven's Bruning being cast in the GH Lulu role last August 2024. Life imitated art while the women worked together, and Rylan and Storms have been tight ever since. In fact, the original post came from Emmy Rylan's IG account. Of course, Stafford was the OG Nina Reeves on GH, playing the character from 2014 to 2019. Maxie and Nina have a nice relationship, so it's great to see that Stafford and Storms still keep in touch too. It's nice to see Storms enjoying some downtime, as the move to Tennessee is a major one that has seen actress Nicole Paggi step in as Maxie temporarily. For Kirsten to organize things, Paggi has acted as a short-term recast in the past, so it's only fitting she jumps in for the save this time around too. With that said, Storms is slated to return the week of August 18th, but only for a brief time, as she's then scheduled to be off canvas until the end of 2025. Storms uploaded a video on her IG recently, explaining the situation, noting that Maxi should be back sometime around November or December, just in time for the holidays. She also hinted at an interesting storyline that will have Maxi fans on the edge of their seats. GH viewers will need to continue to watch the ABC soap to see what happens to Maxi next. In addition to Trina holding her ground, General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, July 24th, 2025, will also focus on Elizabeth reuniting with Obrecht and Willow and Scout having a heart-to-heart. If Trina is holding her ground, like the teasers suggest, then she isn't budging on how she feels about what Kai did. Telling Drew what her parents were up to regarding Jacinda was betrayal. Trina would not tolerate anyone hurting her parents. After all, Kai didn't know the whole story, and he doesn't know the real Drew Kane. So are we about to get another Trina-Kai confrontation that won't end well for Kai? Even though they have been living in the same house, we have not seen much interaction between Willow and Scout. Well, that's about to change when Willow and Scout have a heart-to-heart. Will these two bond? While Willow's busy talking to his daughter, Drew comes face-to-face with Alexis. As a result, Alexis has a frank talk with Drew. The attorney is never one to hold back. So how frank does she get with Congressman Cutthroat? There's a chance Alexis wants to make sure that 1. Scout is okay even though there's so much drama surrounding her, and 2. She probably wants to make sure that Drew isn't moving to Washington, D.C. Finally, 3. Alexis might want to know if Scout's getting quality time with Danny and Rocco, her brothers. Meanwhile, Nina wants to take action, presumably on bringing down Drew and/or stopping the wedding from happening. She had the power to do that a long time ago, but now there isn't much more time. What will she do, and how far will she go to achieve her goals? Finally, Elizabeth reunites with Obrecht, which is a big deal since Liesl broke up with Scotty for representing and supporting Elizabeth during the Hook killings. Obrecht hasn't been feeling Elizabeth since then. Does that mean Obrecht is all good with Elizabeth now? The drama in Port Charles is reaching a boiling point as two major storylines collide, promising a month of explosive confrontations and heartbreaking choices. While Willow Tate prepares to walk down the aisle with Drew Kane, their path to the altar is paved with blackmail and deceit. This very web of danger is what has driven a terrified Sasha Gilmore Corbin to flee the country, leaving a void in the town and setting the stage for an epic showdown. Curtis Ashford is poised to become the unlikely hero who could derail the disastrous wedding of Willow and Drew. Fans have watched with unease as this union has taken shape, built less on love and more on manipulation. At the center of the storm is Drew Kane's ruthless blackmail of Curtis and his wife, Dr. Portia Robinson. In a desperate bid to help Willow win a custody battle, Drew has pressured Portia to falsify medical records to frame Michael Corinthos for opioid addiction. Portia's refusal to sacrifice her medical ethics has put her and Curtis in an impossible position. However, it's Willow's reaction that is truly alarming. When confronted with the scheme, her chilling response, "Michael didn't play fair, why should I?" reveals a woman dangerously out of touch. Once a beloved schoolteacher, Willow's judgment seems clouded by obsession, making her blind to Drew's manipulative control. Spoilers suggest that Curtis, unwilling to let his wife take the fall, may be preparing to drop a bombshell revelation at the wedding. Drew's past affair with Nina Reeves, Willow's own mother. Such a public exposure could be the only thing to shatter Willow's denial. This toxic environment of secrets and coercion is precisely what drove Sasha Gilmore Corbin out of town. In a recent gut-wrenching storyline, Sasha fled Port Charles with her daughter Daisy, seeking refuge overseas with her parents. Her decision was the ultimate act of maternal protection, a desperate move to shield her child from the very chaos now engulfing her friends. With actress Sophia Mattsson's departure from the show, the rumor mill is buzzing about a potential recast, which could bring Sasha back with a new perspective shaped by her time in hiding. For now, only Jason Morgan knows her exact location, a secret he guards fiercely from those who might bring her harm. However, her departure serves as a stark reminder of the real-world consequences of the power plays orchestrated by characters like Drew. As the wedding day looms, Port Charles holds its breath. Curtis's intervention could save Willow from herself and expose Drew's schemes for good. But in a town where secrets are currency, the fallout is guaranteed to be devastating, leaving families and friendships fractured in its wake. Hello, General Hospital fans! Today, we dissect the wedding that shattered illusions across Port Charles. Willow Tate stood on the precipice of what she believed was her happily ever after. The flowers were chosen, the vows were nearly written, and her heart swelled with love for Drew Kane, the man she saw as her rock and the foundation of a family she desperately craved. She saw in him a promise of safety, a gentle partner who had stood by her through the darkest of times. But that beautiful illusion was shattered with cruel precision just hours before the ceremony. The truth-teller was not a scorned rival, but Dr. Portia Robinson, who, driven by moral clarity, could no longer remain silent. Portia confessed the devastating truth. Drew was not the man he appeared to be. He had ruthlessly manipulated her into falsifying Michael Corinthos' medical records to frame him as a drug addict. The man who smiled so sweetly was capable of calculated, life-destroying deceit. The hammer blow didn't stop there. Portia revealed the ultimate betrayal. Drew had been carrying on a secret affair with Nina Reeves, Willow's own controversial biological mother. The betrayal was no longer just about romantic infidelity. It was a desecration of the fragile, budding relationship between a mother and daughter. Every tender word Drew had spoken now felt like poison. The white wedding dress became a costume in a farce. With her world in ashes, Willow made a choice. She walked away, from the dress, from the church, and from the man who had expertly crafted a prison of lies. Drew's retribution against Portia was swift and venomous. Stripped of his charming facade, he unleashed the full power of Aurora Media to destroy her reputation. A relentless smear campaign painted Portia as unethical and untrustworthy, leading to her suspension from General Hospital. He sought to isolate her completely, even attempting to poison her relationship with Isaiah. Portia, who acted only to save a friend, found herself ostracized and professionally ruined. Just when it seemed Drew's power was absolute, an unlikely hero emerged, Michael Corinthos. Having been the original target of Drew's schemes, Michael refused to stand by. He launched a quiet counter-investigation, compiling irrefutable proof of Drew's coordinated attack on Portia. Presenting his evidence to the hospital board, Michael forced them to reinstate Portia and clear her name. In the end, what began as a story of love unraveled to reveal the rot beneath. Willow, though scarred, was reborn. No longer a naive girl, but a woman forged in fire. And Portia stood as a quiet, battered, but unbreakable symbol of integrity. A reminder that sometimes the greatest act of love is to tell a truth that costs everything. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Drew Kane may have just scored himself some wedding leverage. Will Drew threaten to expose Willow Tate as Daisy Gilmore's stalker if his bride backs out? After Nina Reeves suspected Drew might have been the one behind the strange baby-related incidents, Drew took a moment to consider who might have done it instead. Based on the look on Drew's face and his questions about the 4th of July, he clearly thinks Willow must be to blame for stalking Daisy. Sasha was spooked enough to pack up the baby and leave town, so Drew knows this is a huge deal. Willow was sneaking in the Quartermain mansion and manipulating things using an innocent infant, so this is a secret she'd definitely like to keep buried. The timing of Drew's discovery is interesting since he's on the verge of tying the knot with Willow. Is there a reason why GH writers put the Daisy stalker secret in Drew's hands right before the marriage ceremony? Of course, Drew has a secret of his own that seems poised to be revealed first. Willow should find out that while she was falling hard for Drew, he was sizzling with Nina behind closed doors. Curtis Ashford may be the one to blow the lid off that secret for Willow, but walking away from her groom may not be so simple. Willow might fly into a rage and plan to walk out on Drew, but that's when he could hit her with some major blackmail. It's easy to imagine Drew pulling Willow away for a private moment as he tries to get the nuptials back on track. Drew might hint that they've both done questionable things and suggest Michael Corinthos wouldn't like hearing Willow was the one who drove Sasha and Daisy out of Port Charles. Perhaps Drew could push Willow to get past what happened with Nina and marry him, or else he'll make sure the truth comes out about her Daisy stalker status. Drew might convince Willow that everyone will believe him and that she'll never see her kids again. Would that be enough to convince Willow to move forward with the wedding? Regardless, Drew threatens people daily, so he might as well add his bride to the list and blackmail her on her big day. General Hospital spoilers say Willow may have to make some updates to her plans along the way, so stay tuned for all the stunning news and desperate moves to come. General Hospital spoilers for July 28th, August 1st, 2025. See Drew Kane Quartermain being smug and Jenza Sidwell lashing out in anger. Let's dive right into it, as we always do an early edition day. We start with what is coming the rest of this week. On Wednesday, July 23rd, we've got Jason Morgan really focused on that woman he saw who looks like his dead ex, Britt Westbourne. Jason tells Carly Corinthos Spencer that he thinks he saw Britt Westbourne, and she wants to know where. So, on a flight to Croatia, which is kind of random. I just wonder how long until Jason and Carly find out that Liesl Obrecht is in town, which seems like strange timing, right? Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri are stunned by what they discover. This could be something about Sonny Corinthos possibly taking Marco Rios based on a conversation he has with his dad on Wednesday, or it could be about Rocco Falceroni seeing Obrecht. Also, Nina Reeves really wants to talk to Drew, and Nina is telling him that someone targeted Daisy. This could be her plotting with Liesl, or she may wonder if it could be Willow Tate based on what Liesl saw about the smirking. That would seem extreme, but definitely, Nina wants to try and tap the brakes on this wedding. Drew is not going to say yes to that. Portia Robinson tells the truth, and it looks like she's going to reveal to Willow the leverage that Drew is holding over her head. She mentioned it on Tuesday, but she's going to go into it more on Wednesday, reiterating that Drew wants Portia to fake an opioid test on Michael Corinthos. She's expecting Willow to be horrified. Well, she's not. Instead, she tells Portia that Michael didn't fight fair, so why should she? It looks like Willow is endorsing Drew's dirty tactics. This is a match made in hell. Obviously, everybody is starting to get really concerned about Willow's actions. Nina may listen to Liesl and suspect that Willow had some sort of hand in what happened with Michael losing Daisy. Portia is going to be shocked by Willow's approval of Drew's actions. She may tell Curtis Ashford that Willow knows and just doesn't care that Drew is evil. That may be what pushes Curtis to do what he does later this week on her wedding day. D.A. Turner asks Sidwell if he believes that his son Marco is in danger. Sonny is up at the PCPD, and Sidwell is worried about Marco. I wonder if he's going to have to lie to the DA, since Sonny is there and holds all the power. Watch these scenes carefully, which I've been waiting to see. These two have scenes because D.A. Turner and Carlo Rota, those two actors, are married in real life. Carlo Rota is married to Nazneen Contractor, and they have been for years. They have kids together. I think this is going to be really cute. But Sidwell may have to lie and say he has seen Marco or something like that to keep Sonny from hurting his son. I wonder if the DA will buy it. Sonny tells Dante up at the PCPD that this is a conversation they don't want to have. That seems pretty much like almost a confession of Sonny letting Dante know without saying it that he does indeed know something about Marco going missing. Lucas Jones got that address, that key. He's banging on the door yelling to Marco if he's in there. So, if indeed Lucas is at the door where Marco was, which seems likely, the question is who gave him the info? Was it Jason trying to avoid a war? That seems unlikely. Maybe Carly found out somehow. On Thursday, July 24th, Liesl spends time reconnecting with Elizabeth Weber. Of course, they both cared a lot about Franco. I wonder if Liesl will find out she has been seeing Rick Lansing and say, "Don't do that." Liesl knows exactly how bad Rick was for Nina. So, if she does find out, she may warn Elizabeth away, which is good advice. Willow and Scout Kane are chatting before the wedding, and Willow may reassure Scout that she's not trying to replace her mom, Sam McCall, but wants to be a good stepmother. Of course, I think Drew is looking for Willow to replace Sam. I still suspect that he may be looking to have his new wife adopt his daughter. Trina Robinson knows she made the right choice, and I think this is about dumping Kai. Nina realizes that she's got to step in and may resolve to tell Willow about shagging Drew in a desperate attempt to stop the wedding. Alexis Davis and Drew have an encounter that may get heated. She slaps him with her opinion, and it's not very nice. I wonder again if this is about Scout and Willow and just replacing Sam on General Hospital. On Friday, July 25th, it's Drew and Willow's wedding day. Things are going to be chaotic. Nina planned the whole wedding. There aren't going to be very many guests there. She may also be planning to ruin it, even though she doesn't want to hurt her daughter. Both Curtis and Nina are going to talk to Willow before the wedding. I wonder who is going to spill the beans because Curtis makes a specific effort to see her and try to talk sense to her. But there's no sense to be talked there. However, revealing that her groom slept with her mom could potentially be a game changer. I know a lot of fans are hoping that Willow is going to pull a runner. She was talking to Dr. Isaiah Gannon a lot about that cabin, and she doesn't have her kids, so she totally could run off. But I don't know. I feel like Drew has got her pretty thoroughly gaslit. Lucas and Carly face off, and he is certain that Sonny took his boyfriend. If he confirms the kidnapping, whether he finds Marco or not, I'm sure Carly will lie, deny, and cover for Sonny, even if she knows it's true. Michael leans on Christina. He may be upset that it's Willow's wedding day and that she's gotten so far from the woman he used to love. He's probably still upset about Daisy. Something rattles Ava Jerome, and it could be Nina vowing to blow up Drew at all costs to save her daughter, or it could be something that Rick says when he brings Ava as his date to the wedding. Lucy Coe invites someone along. She may want Sidwell to be her +1 at Drew's wedding, although he has his own invite, I believe, but Lucy is supposed to be officiating. Wedding guests include Alexis, who brings Scout, Drew's lawyer, Martin Gray, standing next to Kai, Lucy as the officiant, Liesel, and Nina. It looks like Ava is his +1. It's a pretty sparse crowd. Curtis shows up to see Willow before the wedding, but I don't know if he and Portia are actually going to walk in the doors. Willow seems like she can't be deterred, but you never know. So, the big question is fight or flight. From July 28th through August 1st, Nina is going to face fallout from what happens at the wedding. Between her and Curtis Ashford, it definitely looks like Willow is going to find out the truth about Nina and Drew. Curtis and Nina were plotting to take down Drew. Portia was too. But we'll see if there's anything that can turn Willow away from her psycho fiancé, because there's going to be big aftermath in the wedding between Drew and Willow. Whether that wedding actually takes off is going to be the big thing. It looks like the drama will carry over into Monday. Kai pays for his actions, and Michael Corinthos feels like he's got no choice but to move forward. Lucas remains angry. Sidwell is going to hit back really hard once he knows Marco is safe. Jocelyn, Jax, and Valgene have to convince Port Charles that they're the real deal and are lovers. But Anna Devane is on to this game. The Brit clone drama intensifies. Jason digs deeper and may corner Liesel, and he won't stop until he talks to her. Plus, Brit is in Croatia, the same place as the Courier, which is interesting. The General Hospital preview for the week of July 21st hints Willow Tate and Drew Kane's big day will arrive. Also coming up, Curtis Ashford will decide to betray a friend. Plus, Portia Robinson will have some words of wisdom for Willow, and Nina Reeves can't let it go on. GH spoilers tease Portia will try to talk Willow out of marrying Drew. "You have no idea who your fiancé really is," she tells her in the GH weekly preview. But will she spill the beans about Drew's blackmail plot to Willow? Next up, to hand Willow a warning about the man that she loves will be Curtis. He's had it up to here with Drew's plots and schemes, so he'll tell his wife he plans to take action. "I'm gonna fight to save you," Curtis will tell Portia, even if it means betraying a friend. Of course, that friend is Nina. Curtis knows Drew was sleeping with Nina while he was pursuing her daughter. In the preview, Willow is in her bridal suite, preparing for the wedding. The door will open, and Curtis will walk inside. But will he expose Drew and Nina's affair? Meanwhile, Nina will be beside herself. The last thing she wants is for Willow to tie the knot with the congressman. As her mother, she'll tell Ava Jerome, "I can't stand by and let this go on any longer." Finally, A sparse number of guests will assemble in the chapel for the big day, awaiting the bride. Lucy Coe will act as officiant, and she'll stand beside Drew as he waits for his fiancée. Drew's daughter, Scout Quartermain, will walk down the aisle as the flower girl. But is Willow going to learn everything that Drew has been keeping from her and leave him at the altar? Or will she decide to marry him anyway? At any rate, it looks like a great week is coming up. Keep reading the Soap Scoop for more General Hospital spoilers and news, and make sure you join our free GH Facebook group. Conspiracies are secretly brewing in the General Hospital storyline as new characters join the upcoming massive mob clash. In the wake of Marco Rios's rescue and a fake statement, the lawyer seems to have joined the war. Meanwhile, Liesl Obrecht's arrival in town is ruffling many feathers. Elsewhere, Congressman Drew Cain is preparing for his wedding. The spoiler video by the YouTube channel, General Hospital Preview, lays the groundwork for the upcoming drama. The teaser shows Kai expressing his regret. He is likely trying to apologize and patch up with Trina. Meanwhile, Nina is opening up to her friend Ava and blurts out, "This may be about the change in Willow's attitude." Elsewhere, Alexis sits down with Drew. She has something to say to the congressman. Alexis may be worried about Scout's well-being after Drew marries Willow. Other story arcs on the long-running ABC soap on July 24, 2025, include Carly having a straight talk with Sunny, Scout's query for Willow, and Portia's directive for her husband. The General Hospital spoiler video opens with Carly challenging the town's mob boss. She asks Sunny whether her family can live safely now that Sunny has taken action against his enemies. This may be after Sunny informs her about Sidwell's withdrawal from Measure C and other political events in town. The next General Hospital scene shows Kai facing Trina as the former sportsman expresses his regret over ruining their romance. He will want to woo Trina after their breakup till she accepts him back. However, Trina may stay loyal to her family and refuse to forgive him. The following scene shows Nina and Ava discussing current scenarios. While Ava looks shocked at Nina's disclosure, the latter laments that the situation has turned very bad. She may be alluding to Willow's changed psyche after her recent chat with Portia on Wednesday, July 23, 2025. Elsewhere, Alexis is seen visiting Drew to ask for a favor, as the congressman is getting married to Willow. Alexis may ask Scout to temporarily stay with her. She may wish to hold on to Sam's memory and help Scout navigate the new relationship. Meanwhile, Scout may want to know her role in the new family arrangement. As such, she is seen clearing things with Willow as she asks whether Willow will need to be addressed as her mother. Willow will likely assure Scout that Sam will always stay the latter's mother. The closing frame of the GH spoiler video shows an agitated Portia facing her husband. She asks him to play his card against Drew right away. On one hand, Portia's career and life are on the line after she plans to openly revolt against the congressman. On the other hand, Curtis may have a difficult choice before him. He wants to help his wife, but that would entail betraying Nina's secret. Whether it is Curtis or Nina herself who exposes her affair with Drew remains to be seen. Although General Hospital fans have come to embrace Adam Huss in the role of Nicholas Cassadine, it was a long road because they had finally accepted Marcus Coloma in the part. Sadly, he exited in January 2023, but has kept in touch with fans through personal appearances and social media posts. In a recent post, he shared his challenging journey and got love and support from the fans. The former General Hospital star shared a video on Instagram that was set to Metallica's rock classic, Enter Sandman. In it, we see the actor in a hospital bed. Then, some time passed, and he was at home and weighed himself, coming in at 195 lbs. The video then becomes an incredible montage as we see him doing various exercises and getting himself back into tip-top shape, clocking back in on the scale at 181 lbs. He had a rather lengthy caption that began with, "Several years ago, I started feeling really fatigued. I had done 300 episodes of a certain TV show and never had problems with memorizing lines. The last week, I kept forgetting my lines, would go totally blank. I couldn't tell what was going on." He explained that his mental fatigue worsened and he would have to take an afternoon nap. He continued, explaining that he went to a physical therapist, who kind of saved my life because he said I want to check out your heart rate, and he found out my heart was beating at a resting rate of 110 BPM. This was scary because your heart only has a certain amount of beats in a lifetime, and because mine was going so fast, I was cutting my lifespan down. I had no idea that my heart was beating this fast, but thanks to this physical therapist, the door to healing opened up. The General Hospital alum further explained that, with the help of an electrocardiologist, he underwent surgery for what turned out to be a minor fix. It was a relatively easy recovery, he stated, adding, and once it was fixed, and the doctor said, "Look, your heart is actually perfectly fine. There was a birth defect. We handled it. You should never have problems again." He then added, "Then it was about getting back in shape." Coloma also explained that he thought something was wrong with his brain, or he was even possibly dying. Ultimately, he embarked on a physical and spiritual journey and came back out on top. He shared his gratitude by stating, "The body is like a car, and you can fix it, and you can run it, and it can help you get from A to B. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest gift out of all of this was an appreciation for life and friends, and for people out there who helped me get back up." Finola Hughes commented simply, "Determination." William DeVry, who formerly played Julian Jerome on General Hospital, lovingly wrote, "Damn, dude, glad you are on the mend. That must have been frightening. Sorry you had to go through that. Hope the recovery to a better you is coming soon." Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!